Mart.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. First of all, I would like to thank the honourable members who this evening and in the past have spoken in favour of the Kelowna Accord. I would like to thank those members who voted for it. And I would like to thank the Aboriginal leaders from ocean to ocean to ocean who publicly spoke out in favour of a fundamental improvement of the situation for their fellow citizens.
The Kelowna Accord is not simply important because a group of people, federal government, the Prime Minister and ministers, provincial, territorial premiers and leaders, and the leaders of Canada's Aboriginal people, the Métis Nation, the First Nations, the Inuit, came together at Kelowna. It is important because at that historic moment, the nation came together. And they said that the lack of decent water, the lack of decent housing, the lack of economic opportunity is not acceptable. Now, Mr. Speaker, we have heard the members of the opposition parties speak here tonight. And so I would ask the members of the government, do they think it's acceptable that 1 million Canadians, the youngest and the fastest growing segment of our population, should at the same time have the highest incidence of infant mortality, the lowest life expectancy, that they should have the highest incidence of AIDS, tuberculosis, and diabetes? Est-ce qu'ils croient?
They believe that the dropout rate of Aboriginal young people should be almost triple that of other Canadians.
Kelowna is about saying to the youngest segment of our population, you have the right to the same educational opportunities as other Canadians. It says in a world in which we must compete with other countries which are showing great productivity and great growth, that we believe that every single Canadian counts. And Mr. Speaker, Kelowna is also about the way in which it was arrived. For members of the government to stand up here and say what their eyes witnessed on television, when the leaders, all of the political leaders in this country came together to say that we will no longer impose on the Aboriginal communities of this country our way of looking at things, but we will work with them. Mr. Speaker, Kelowna is important for its objectives, but it's also important for the way in which it was arrived at. 16 to 18 months of fundamental discussion in community after community, in province after province, in territory after territory, as to how, in fact, this great partnership between us as Canadians should work. That's what Kelowna is all about. And, Mr. Speaker, for the government to stand up here and say that that never happened is a denial of a fundamental reality and a historic coming together. I am very proud, Mr. Speaker, of the Kelowna Accord, and I am very proud of the members of Parliament of this House who have supported it. And I thank you.